Hello and welcome to a new video on my channel. My name is Maike and I came to you from Germany. Today is Wednesday, the 2nd of October, and I like to show you some other knitwear of me, and I told a little bit about sweaters, so I think I could show you my sweaters which I knitted the last years. I'm not knitting so much sweaters because I'm more a minimalist. If I have a few, it's enough, I think. And as I'm most of the time inside, it's not so necessary to have too much thick wool sweaters. I like a lot of sweaters, but most of the time I think it's enough to have a few. I think I will start with the last one I made. That was in the beginning of this year, the cinema sweater by Veronika Lindberg, also known as Kutovakika on YouTube and Instagram, and maybe on Ravelry too. I'm not so quite often on Ravelry that I don't know all the names on Ravelry, but I think she is all over the internet as Kutovakika. And she is a designer from Finland and she made wonderful designs. Yes, it's always nice to look at her works, and the cinema sweater is this one. It's an oversized sweater. I always like oversized sweaters, it's my style, so to say. This is the cinema sweater, and maybe I can show it. It's okay so. Yes. As I look at the pattern, I don't realize that it has very, very wide arms. No, sorry. I apologize for my sometimes German English. Sleeves, wide, very wide sleeves. But it's okay, it's nice. And maybe for me it could be a little bit smaller, but it's okay. And it's made from West wool. As I told in my video about the Stephen West shawls in the last mystery knit along last year, I used West wool, the original wool, for this pattern, and I found out that this wool is very, very smooth and good to knit, and so I decided for this sweater also West wool bicycle, and I combined it with a sandness yarn. It's a 2-strand knitting to reach the gauge, and I combined it with sandness yarn alpaca felgetrot. It's a Norwegian yarn, and the color is petrol, and the color of the West wool bicycle is Norway. So this is a very nice blue-green or petrol, I don't know how to say, it's a blue-green, and I like it very much. And it's not my normal color to choose, but sometimes I like also green or blue-green or yellow-green colors, but most of the time I'm more in the violet-pink section. I never would use colors like brown or this section. That is not my way, and I'm more for very colorful things, bright colors. Yeah, that's it. It is a raglan top-down sweater, the thing I like the most, raglan top-down. And I made it in the size 2XL because I'm a tall person. And it's knitted with needle size 4.5. I don't know the American size, because I'm only here in the Europe section. Last year I made the Garter Marler sweater by Stephen West. It is a top-down, not raglan, but top-down knitted sweater, only in garter stitch, and it's created to use leftovers of fingering yarn. If you made a lot of socks or something like that, you can use all the rests for this sweater, because it's, I'll show you. Oh, can you see? It is can be a very colorful object. You have just a few rows of color, and then it faded together into this Marler sweater. And I have not so much leftovers or rests that I can use, but I got to my birthday the year before a code for yarn, to buy yarn, and so I decided to buy the yarn for this sweater. And for this piece I also liked to have a green yellow colorway with, yes, mostly green, blue and yellow colors. And I bought Holst garn and Holst garn Coast, genau, Holst garn Coast. It's a mixture of cotton and merino wool, and this sweater is knitted in holding together 2 strands of fingering weight yarn to create a decay weight. And this is my Garter Marler sweater. Good to see. So yes. Ooh. I also made it in the size 2XL, and it's knitted with 4.5mm needles, and the gauge is 20 stitches and 38 rows for 10 centimeters. And it's a 2x2 ribbing, and it ended up with a I-cord, but I don't do this I-cord because I don't like I-cord on this end. For me it's enough to have this ribbing, this 2x2 ribbing. And yes, that's my Garter Marler sweater. I think I have said all what I wanted to say. And now I wanted to show you the sweater I talked about in one of my previous videos. I don't know if it was the last one. It can be. As I came back to knitting about 7 or 8 years ago, it's a long time, and so I don't really know the details, but I told you that I made a sweater without a pattern because I only wanted to get back to knitting, and I chose a wool with cotton, and I think it's a cotton and merino mixture, but I don't really know what the name of the wool is. It's too long ago and I don't have this noticed anywhere. And as I learned it in my childhood, or the long time I knitted, I learned to knit sweaters and all things in pieces, and I don't really liked it. It was so not so nice if you have all the pieces together, all then to sew them all together. It's for me all the time the thing I don't want to do, but if I wanted a finished sweater, I had to do it. So yes, I knitted this one, so one of my favorite colors. And it looks like this also an oversized sweater, of course. Let's see. Woo. And I wanted a little pattern that it's not so boring to knit it all the time. So I made this. So I made this little squares. It's only, I can say, can see. Maybe you can see this. It's only stockinette and purled together. I think eight stitches and 8 rows. It was, yes. And to sew it together and not have so thick seams, I made this with crochet stitches. I crocheted an edge and crocheted it together. I cannot explain it in another way because I didn't really know how I made it, but in the end I liked it to have this special feature here. And I also made this crochet border on the neckline before I knitted the ribbing above. And yes, I have also here in the sides this big slots. That's also for me, that's always for me a better garment with slots in my sitting position, and I liked it very much. It was one of my favorite sweaters because also because it's with cotton, so it's not too warm, and so I can wear it also inside very good, and I like it. It's one of my favorite sweaters since I made it. Another piece I made some years ago is the leaf cardigan by TheKnitStitch. I don't really know more about this company or whatever it was because it's some years ago that I made it. I said it. I have no name. I have no other name. It's called TheKnitStitch, and this is a website. And the leaf cardigan is a top-down raglan knitted cardigan, and it looks so. I hope it's good to see with this wonderful, wonderful pattern. I saw this in a podcast, of course, in a podcast, and I fell in love with this pattern. It looks so nice. Yes, and there were only 5 sizes, and I knitted it in XL. I think I knitted it with 5mm needles. I made this cardigan with 2 strands of yarn. One is this wonderful soft yarn called Soft Bamboo Double, made by Go Handmade. Oh, not so good to see. That's right. And it's 70% bamboo. It's a bit like lyocell or tencel that is made from eucalyptus trees or beech trees, a plant-based yarn. And this is 70% bamboo, 23% cotton, and 7% acrylic. Yes, that's the one. And I combined it with this one. It's called Gedifra. Never heard this before. I don't know where I found it. I don't know where I found it in some of my online shops. I think it is a mixture of 65% superfine alpaca and 35% cotton. These two together give me a very, very nice, soft and smoothie. Oh, it's so good to wear. And yes, it's a very nice cardigan and I used it a lot. So this is my leaf cardigan. And now I have only one piece to show, or not really to show. You can see it there in the background. That is Love and Hate Together, because I had to knit this cardigan because I wanted knit some of Iceland wool. I am a fan of Iceland since a long time. I fell in love with Iceland as one of my favorite countries in the 90s, I think, of the last century. Before that, I didn't realize that there is a land called Iceland. It was so far away, and yes, never thought that there are living people or something like that. But then came a musician to me. She's called Björk. Maybe some of you know her. And she made wonderful music. I like them a lot. And then she made some music videos from her country, in her country. And I saw this country and I was, hey, I was thrilled, because for my the part of me who created paintings and something like that, it was really quite very, very inspiring. The landscapes there, not only the land of fire and ice, but there are so stunning landscapes if you look at videos or documentaries or something like that. Or I decided from that point this is one of my favorite countries, or my favorite countries maybe, my favorite country maybe. And then I saw a documentary of knitting in Iceland. It looks like all people are knit their own sweaters there, and they talked about the wool and the wool and the patterns and how they created it. And then I had to knit something with Iceland wool. And then I found an online shop. It's from Germany, but it's the best way to order wool online if it's in another town. But it's also good that it's in Germany, then you have a better way of delivery. Can I say that? I don't know. Then I ordered original Iceland wool called Plötuloppi in the color orange. I was so lucky to get this, and then I knitted without any pattern, only in stockinette and with a garter border in the front, I think, and the normal 2x2 border on the sleeves ends and on the border on the body. And I thought it would be a very nice garment for the winter time, and it's mostly not so cold here that sometimes you can go out with only a warm cardigan. And yeah, and then I had to realize that it is a very rustic yarn and quite scratchy, and I have a very sensitive skin, and even if I have a t-shirt or shirt or something like that under the cardigan, I can feel it through it on my skin, and it's not so nice for me. It's too scratchy, and I was so sad because I would like to wear it so much and I couldn't wear it it's not a nice feeling for me, and so it's not the cardigan I wear. It's only hanging there, not there, but in another part of my apartment, and I don't wear it. I consider what I can make with it. It's so sad that it's not be used, but maybe sometimes I will make a giveaway and will give it away to another people who is not so sensitive, who has not such a sensitive skin. Okay, now I can show you my current work in progress. It's a sweater. I showed it before when it was smaller. It's now nearly finished. I had to do some work here, this little piece and the ribbing, and yeah, it's coming to an end. It's a very simple sweater, knitted raglan top down, only stockinette stitch, and the only thing what was a little bit special is this broken raglan line. Yeah, you see the broken raglan line. I showed it before, and it's very nice to knit, and this was made from a tencel yarn. This is a tencel yarn. As I said before, it is made by birch trees or eucalyptus trees, a plant-based yarn, and very, very smooth, combined with a Suri alpaca yarn, and this together is perfect. It's so soft. I will not have any problems to wear it, I think. And I hope I can finish this today. I think I will finish this today because tomorrow is the start of the Mystery Knit Along by Stephen West 2024, and I'm so excited. I really can't wait to get the first clue tomorrow, and then it's going on. Oh, before I forget this, if you have questions to my garments or wool or whatever, feel free to leave a comment or email me. I will try to put all the informations in the description box below, and I hope I find all the links. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I think I will make some progress of the MCAL, maybe weekly, we will see. And until then, I say bye-bye. No, I talk bullshit. But I have wool on my nose. Bow, 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 bow. It's a oh, bow, bow. Ew. I can show you my current what? Blackout. Now I have a blackout. Okay.